Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome to Throwbacks, where we talk all things cool and retro. And today we've got a few crazy Funkos to unbox. Now, if you follow the channel, neither myself nor Uncle Beezer really get into the Funkos at all. I've got a dozen or two Funkos scattered throughout my collection, just kind of pieces and parts. And that's kind of what we have here today, is just kind of more pieces and parts, things to fill in the collection, random cool ones that, obviously represent something that isn't in any other action figure form. Just like good old Billy Bob and Bacon from Varsity Blues. Let's just say mid-2000s, late 90s movie here. Basically every teenager in Texas who plays football has seen this movie 8,000 times. So obviously it was one of my favorites growing up, and now they have a little action figure form. They also have Tweeter, Coach Kilmer, and of course Mox, but I figured kind of the best representation was good old Billy Bob, so I picked him off of Big Bad Toy Store. Had him in my pile of loot there for a while, and finally got to where we could ship them, so here we are. I'm going to go get ahead and get Bacon and Billy Bob on out. First up is, of course, good old Bacon. Just a fun, silly, goofy, almost Minecraft-looking addition there, so a fun little side guy there. And then we've got Billy Bob chugging water for some reason. Kind of surprising that Billy Bob would be doing that. We do got Texas on the side, Billy Bob 69 on the back, and again, Texas on the arm. Pretty detailed. I think it even says West Canaan on that. Let's see if we can get that on here. That to go in there. Yep, State Champs #1. Wow. So even for a Funko, that's pretty darn detailed. Stands up with no problem. So pretty cool there. Excited to have good old Billy Bob in the collection. Another one that has had action figures and has had Funkos in the past, but I did miss out on those Funkos, was the X-Files, Dana Scully, Fox Mulder. I know these were out. I saw them at, used to be like a movie store nearby for the longest time. But my financial situation was a little different back then. Still not great, but that's a whole other thing. But just couldn't pull the trigger on Fox and Dana. But now I have a small little shrine to one of my all-time favorite shows, The X-Files. So when I saw these pop up, no pun intended, for pre-order, I had to go ahead and snag them. So let's see. Now we even have a little stand. I had to make sure that that other one didn't have a stand, but maybe it doesn't because it has a wider base. But yeah, nice little Funko stand action going on there, so I do appreciate that from the people over there at Funko. So like I said, we do have a little stand. And here's old Dana Scully. Nice badge, FBI. Looks good. Kind of a later version of Scully with her hair going that way. Nice pantsuit, all that good stuff. Nothing crazy to write home about. But if someone handed me this Funko, which is kind of a thing, is to be able to tell what it is, I think I would know pretty quick that that was Scully from the X-Files. But also, I am kind of a not a super fan, but I would say a pretty hardcore fan of the X-Files series. So let's see here. Yep, no stand here. I almost wish they would just like kind of make that a uniform thing all across the board and just have stands for everybody. But it's just easier for uniformity's sake, when you're having a whole line of them up in your collection, just to go ahead and have that. But here we are with Fox Mulder. Again with the badge. It's very nice. Good details. Funko, it definitely has its place, I gotta say. There like I said, there was action figures for the X-Files. They did a lot of, I think McFarlane, or maybe it was NECA, they did a lot of of the monster type people, and then I want to say for sure it was McFarlane that did the movie, and then most recently I think Diamond Select did some for the re-release, or not re-release, but the new season of the show a couple years back. But good to see the X-Files out in action figure form, if you consider Funko's action figures, but good to see them back out again. And then we're going to finish up with some of the Sopranos figures. Sopranos is probably, if I had to put pen to paper, my all-time favorite show. It's one of those things I watch probably an episode a week, no matter what. And then this wave, we've got Bobby, Furio, and a 2-pack from the Pines Barren episode with Paulie and Christopher, which I do have as well. But let's go ahead and get into these first. We'll start off with good old Bobby Baccaliari. What an episode to pick for Bobby. Kind of a rough one here. If you know the series, what this one is depicting, it's kind of rough, kind of messed up, honestly. But you got old Bobby, you got him holding the train, got his wedding band and his other good accessories on, just his normal Bobby look. Me being an actual super fan of Sopranos, if you showed me this, would I know what it is? Yeah, I'd know what it is. But if you took this head and told me who that was, which is, again, in most cases with Funkos, would I know who it is? Absolutely not. But when it's set up like that, it looks really, really cool, really fun. Just kind of a bummer. I gotta admit, I would have preferred a different representation for Bobby than that. Just kind of a sad scene that happens there, but yeah, beggars can't be choosers at the end of the day. Let's get into old Furio, our friend from the other side. Good old Furio. Oh, he's got a ponytail. Alright, let's get into Furio. Much better, happier scene here. This is probably his second or third episode that he's in at his welcoming party. Oh, very nice. Very good detail there on the back of his kind of bling bling shirt that he wears, and he's dancing. Again, nice ponytail going on there. Good old khakis and some nice expensive Italian leather shoes. Pretty dang cool. This is funner. This one makes me a little happier. Reminds me of a happier time there in the show for sure. And then probably the most famous, most well-known, except for maybe the ending of the show, is the Pine Barrens episode, roundly regarded as the absolute best show or best episode of the series. I really liked the episode, but I wouldn't put it as my favorite. It's kind of wild and has some funny lines and things like that, but I don't know, I wouldn't put it as my favorite episode. I'm not really sure what I would honestly consider to be my favorite episode. It kind of all runs together, just one big story for me. Get Christopher and Paulie to the side. We have had other Christophers and we have had other Paulies. Unfortunately, the Paulie was like a Funko store exclusive, so I was not able to get that. Oh, look at the detail there on Paulie. That's cool. We'll get into that in just a second. So I was not able to get a Paulie before, but I'm glad to have one now. And glad to have this Christopher. So this look more represents the time when they're in their truck after the incident. He's a little Christopher's a little banged up. He's got the carpet from inside the van wrapped around him, which is really cool. Looks nice, nice and sturdy and firm. They did a really good job of how that looks like it's wrapped around him, with the bottom kind of dragging in the snow, and then the snowflakes all over it. Very, very cool. I actually like that kind of a lot more than I even thought I would, but maybe not as much as I like Paulie here. Paulie's look is off the chain. We got the top of his head has it's kind of hard to tell with the light, but it has a white dust on it. He's got his normal Paulie wings, some hair, some snow sprinkled in there, his little goober that he's got there on his head. Jacket also dotted with snowflakes. Looks really good. He's got his hand gripped because he's so cold. A very nice detail there. And then the best detail of all is the fact that he lost his shoe at one point while running through the snow. So now he's just got his foot dipped in the snow. Very, very funny, very cool, very on point with this scene. And then, of course, the other shoe there is just dug down deep in the snow. But an overall really cool, really fun silly Funko, and this is what we have Funko for. I do enjoy it. But let's go ahead and get all these guys set up and give our final thoughts on, well, maybe we'll talk about Funko and my nice little lot of Funko action figures. And there we go, the crew is all together. Probably the absolute most Funko that I've ever bought at one time. Probably nearly doubled my Funko collection, but a very good set here. I gotta admit, I'm really happy with this set. Like I said, I'm not really a Funko collector, and I really get the Funko quote-unquote hate, which I really don't understand how you can hate any action figures, but I do understand how you can not like it, and I get why you would not like Funko. But what I don't get is when people go off the route of, they're just going to be Beanie Babies. I don't think that at all. I think, you know, for a really good example is this Varsity Blues Billy Bob. If you're a fan of Billy Bob and Varsity Blues, there's only one way to have that representation short of just owning the movie, and that is to have a Funko Pop. And so for all those things that are so limited in action figure form, Sopranos are another one. There's really not any Sopranos action figure merchandise. And even X-Files is limited on what they have out there. So I think it's always going to have a place in the community, in the nostalgia, in the fandom community, for that reason. It covers a lot of things that, you know, just not easy to come by. So I definitely like these. I'm definitely happy with this purchase, but at the end of the day, that is just my opinion, and I'm sure you have yours. But you a fan of Sopranos, X-Files, or Varsity Blues? You gotta like at least one of those things, right? Which one do you like the most? Put it down in the comments below. Is the Pine Barrens the best Sopranos episode? Go ahead and do an addendum to your answer there and throw that one in there as well. But while you're there, you might as well go ahead and like this video. And of course, subscribe to the channel as we post new content every single day. But it is getting to be that time. It's time to go ahead and throw one back. Today's choice is Snapple Rain. There you go. But for myself and Uncle BJ, we are going to throw one back. And we'll see you all next time.